Welcome, tyrants and newcomers alike. It's finally here, the Apollo Justice Let's Dub series finale. Oh man, a year's worth of work. Oh, thanks to all the voice actors that have stuck with me with this. But I have to save that for the awards video coming soon after this episode. Let's finish this series for good. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough.
7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zak Gramarye.
Two cards. One card. Showdown time. Enough. You lose, Gavin. Thanks for the work. Now go.
To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost in a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion.
Daddy used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete.
Zak wasn't watching his points, or the cards. He was watching the man behind the cards, Kristoph Gavin.
I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright. A second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs. He dismissed me and went with that pitiful excuse for a man. He deserved to die for that error alone.
Hold it! So the one who requested the forgery was...
Oh, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, these two men shamed me, and I could not forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zak Gramarye both deserved what they got.
So you asked Mr. Misham to forge that evidence, so you could win? But then, when you were dismissed as Zak Gramarye's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap.
You fed me information about the forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him.
You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly.
Incredible. If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep.
Prosecutor Gavin?
Perfectly? You're mad, Kristoph. Stop fooling yourself.
What are you talking about, Klavier?
Tell me, how did that trial end?
Cancelled, when the defendant vanished.
Ah, I get it. So, Kristoph, you've been living in fear for 7 years.
What?
You were afraid your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to chance. So you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years.
You know, he always felt like he was being watched. Every day for 7 years. But I felt it too. Journalist sure he is being watched. End quote. Don't you wonder why Zak Gramarye got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me?
Wait just a minute. Zak Gramarye was seen by this reporter? How was that possible? Was he alive after being gone 7 years? Finally, I knew this moment was coming. I I just didn't think we'd get here so fast. Zak Gramarye, gone missing for 7 years. Trucy's father.
What's wrong, Apollo? Go get him!
Right. Leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Kristoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler. I remember him quite well. Shoddy Smith, was it? Poisoned in a Chinese restaurant. Tragic. The details don't really matter right now. What matters is that the traveler was Zak Gramarye.
What is it, Apollo?
Huh?
Keep going! We'll talk about it later.
Did she already know? Someone please explain this! Mr. Justice, can you explain this? It all started 7 years ago. The great magician, Magnifi Gramarye's death started it. Magnifi Gramarye's death and his student Zak Gramarye the suspect. Whoever defended Zak in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that, Kristoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence. Drew Misham? Actually, it was his daughter, Vera, who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Precautions?
To keep people from talking, of course.
That's when you planned your poisoning of the forgers.
Atroquinine. Applied to a commemorative stamp.
But luck was on Mr. Misham's side. The bomb didn't go off. His daughter? She saved him by taking the stamp. I see. But that wasn't the only bomb he set up.
The Ariodine nail polish. Of course.
You noticed something when you requested that forgery. When Vera Misham is nervous, she has a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails. Ah! That nail polish was her good luck charm.
She was almost kidnapped once. Since then, she's been... well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house.
That person gave me a good luck charm for when I absolutely had to go outside.
Yes, apparently, she received something. A gift. She won't tell me what it was.
It was his insurance. Insurance? As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside?
If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous. And the nail polish would do the rest.
His time bomb sat there for 7 years. And then, they went off almost simultaneously.
If you're finished, may I return to my cell now? I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time.
Mr. Gavin, have you heard a single thing we've said?
Oh, I'd listen quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction.
What?
Klavier, surely you understand.
We're back to the evidence. The lacking evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the Atrocanine that took Drew Misham's life.
What about the restaurant? You killed Zak Gramarye to keep him from talking.
I killed no man of that name. Read over the report again if you like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shoddy Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was that particular fugitive.
Okay, then why did you kill him?
I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Misham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial's been finished for 6 months now.
I'm afraid we have strayed considerably from our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. It is defendant Vera Misham who is on trial here.
No! You were doing so good, Apollo!
As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him, this course of inquiry cannot find Vera Misham innocent. Your Honor, Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence.
You still don't get it, do you? Let us assume there was poison on the nail polish. Who then is responsible for causing Vera Misham to bite her nails?
Who? What?
It wasn't me, I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you.
What?
Evidence is everything. There is nothing more.
I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion. Your Honor! Mr. Justice, you have performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well.
However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Klavier?
Unfortunately, yes, Kristoph, you're right. That is, you would have been right, until now.
Ah!
What?
Did the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is a trial case for a new judicial system.
That's right. I'd totally forgotten. The jurist system!
Jurists, you say?
The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. The new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law.
Common citizens? Wisdom? Is this some kind of a joke? What could we possibly gain by doing this? Entrusting our judicial system to a mindless, emotional mob of irrational mouth breathers?
Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law.
Nonsense! There is only room for two in this court. Me and the law. Keep the riffraff out. Out, I say!
They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera.
How can you allow this?
Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright? So, everything was leading to this. Of course. Right. 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 Right! I won't accept. I can't accept. This is no court! Law! The law is everything! Law is absolute! You'd let ignorant swine soil your courts?
Go, Kristoph. It's over.
Klavier!
The law is absolute? You can't be serious.
What?
Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions.
The law is the end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge, like a gem polished to a gleam through trials and errors. It is this fruit we receive and pass on and face in our time. And it is always changing, growing, nurturing. It is our task as human beings.
Except for you, Kristoph. You aren't changing. You've stopped. You're not needed anymore.
I couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday, I'll know what law is. And I'll fight to change it if I have to. I see no need to further prolong this trial. This began as the trial of Vera Misham, accused of murdering her father. The painter drew Misham. However, several other incidents were reviewed, and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision. Jurists of the court. For the death of Drew Misham, how do you find the defendant Vera Misham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter.
This ends the trial for this case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Misham is currently in intensive care. If a decision cannot be reached today, it may never be reached. The factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night? If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Misham's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she is innocent. A panel has been provided for each of you to input your decisions. That is all.
Please, wait!
Yes, jurist number 6?
There's something in the jurist handbook here. Persons involved in the case may not be jurists.
That is correct. I've looked into all your dossiers. None of you were involved with the development of the case.
With the development of the case? I see.
Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdicts. Make your decision in the case against Vera Misham. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely, judge well.
Now, you have a choice here whether you want to get a good ending or a bad ending. But I'll tell you this, immediately, the bad ending is not worth getting. It is just a complete waste of time. All that happens in the bad ending is that Vera dies, and that's it, basically. It's just depressing and not even worth looking at. So we're gonna go with a good ending.
And so a verdict was reached on October 9th, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the juris system. Innocent. By unanimous decision. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, Special Witness Kristoph Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than ever heard before. Or since. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. October 10th, the morning after the trial. In an intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Misham opened her eyes.
Vera, I'm so glad!
Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too. And proud. You did well, Apollo. When I thought about... what if Vera...
Hey now, don't you start crying too. Sorry you had to see us like this. Vera?
Thank you so much. Apollo, thank you.
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you never would have bitten your nails.
No, I was wrong. Staying locked inside like that, clinging to my good luck charm.
Vera.
When I opened my eyes and I saw you, I finally understood. It's important to be a part of the world. To see things with your own eyes.
It looks like that poison had some effect after all. It killed off whatever was holding Vera back from life.
I knew you would pull through, Vera. I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time. Your future.
I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you.
No, really, it's okay.
Oh, look! It's me! I love it! Thanks!
Is that me?
She really captured your essence, Apollo. Well, I think so at least.
That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is?
The other lawyer?
Oh, you mean Daddy. Except he's not a lawyer anymore.
It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's not what I meant!
No, it's okay. I'm through looking away from the things I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes again someday and apologize.
I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that.
He brought all those things for me when he came to visit earlier.
You mean that stack of videos? Mr. Wright finished watching them all?
You know, I knew my real daddy was alive.
Huh?
I was there. 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom.
You did what? How?
I'm not telling. He promised me that day he went away.
We may not meet again for some time, Trucy. But know this, I will be watching. And one day, I shall return. You are the next Gramarye, after all.
Oh, Trucy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he?
It's okay. Phoenix is my daddy now. even if he can't really play the piano.
That he can't?
Oh, and I've got you too! Even if your voice is kinda loud sometimes.
Glad I made your list.
Hey! Come to think of it, where is Daddy? The one who can't play. Do you know, Apollo?
I think he said he had to meet someone.
I wonder. Maybe it's a new mommy!
Oh, Trucy.
Yes, Vera?
I was wondering, could you show him to me once more? Sir Hat, was it?
Oh, he's not been knighted. Yet. Here goes! Do us an impersonation, Mr. Hat!
Objection! Ahem.
Not loud enough. I like Miss Magic Underwear better anyway.
That's magic panties, Apollo! And stop bringing it up!
So, your memory's returned.
Mr. Wright, was this all part of your plan too?
I don't know what you're talking about.
When I lost my memory, I was reborn as Lemawar. But you knew my true identity, did you not? And that is why you chose me as one of your jurists.
Ah, you're thinking into it too much. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy.
Of course it is a happy thing. For a long time, I thought I was alone. But now I know I have children. 2 dear children. I'm so proud of them. This too, I think, is thanks to you.
Are you going to tell them?
They do not know?
Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know their siblings.
I will go to them when the time is right. Until then,
Don't worry. I'll take care of them for you. They're very important to me, too. A little annoying at times, but still. I have to keep an eye on her, at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels on the inside. Your bracelet. I've seen a lot of mysterious things these past 7 years. But your bracelets were the strangest of all. I remember meeting him half a year ago now, in Kristoph Gavin's office. And then I met you. 2 fates destined to intertwine. And I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that.
such a small thing, that bullet. Yet it tore who I was away. "10 years ago, during a simple rehearsal. It was a miracle no one died, but I didn't survive that accident. And that is why I left the troupe, my family. Now, my memory has returned. I am myself once more. For the first time, I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright."
Speaking of miracles, Vera Misham regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she's as glad as you are.
It is a strange thing, fate. Sometimes a life is taken. Sometimes a life is spared.
You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily. Really. As long as they got something worth living for.
And that's pretty much the end of my story. For now, anyway. I've still got a long way to go, and this power of mine, well, it needs some work. But there's hope now. We'd lost it, but somehow we'd found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep it this lawyer thing for a while. Oops, training time. Gotta go. Cords of steel, here comes justice! That's it! It's done! The series is over! Oh my god!
I'm glad you're staying with the agency, Apollo. It's like I found my long-lost big little brother. Oh, and don't you worry about Troop Gramarye. Trucy's on the case. Now that I have this, thanks to Daddy.
Trucy, Gramarye. Frankly, I've got my doubts. But Hat Gramarye? Now that'll pack him in.
I'm gonna have to talk in between the credits, but I just can't believe it's over. All the late nights of putting in lines and waiting for people to send stuff in.
It's not every day you get a trials that rocks harder than one of your gigs, yeah? That's why it's over. The Gaviners are breaking up. The news caused a run on tissues at supermarkets nationwide. You're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session.
It's all come to this. Wow. Thank you so much, everybody who's been watching and supporting this series, and all the voice actors that have been involved. Those of you that stayed and those of you that chose not to stay with me, I understand.
Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it, I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Now that everything's sorted, and I've got time in my hands, maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take that bar exam. Again.
It's all been every one of you guys. I couldn't have done this without any one of you guys, whether you stayed with me or not. The only thing I could possibly ask now is from you the fans. Now that this series is finished, I have to ask you the fans.
So, I was standing around eating snackos the other day when I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could augment the crunch, or better yet, make them ding! Ah, the power of science. Although the preservatives might not be 100% safe.
I have to ask you, the fans, to share this series, because I don't want all this hard work to be forgotten. I don't want these voice actors to be forgotten. I wish the best for, like, every single one of them, even though a lot of them are in some of my other projects that I'm doing. You guys just...
In unlikely event you are wanting Russian feast, come to Borscht Book Club. The only thing colder than restaurant is borscht. But if greater challenge is being required, then come to the hideout. You know who to ask for.
Share this series. Share this series to all Phoenix Wright fans. Share this to anybody who's interested in good dubs. I don't want to sound cocky, but god dang, we did a good job on this. There is no other completed Apollo Justice dub online right now, and people need to know this exists. They need to know. I'm not even saying this for my,
So, Kentucky Pastries is getting back to its eastern roots. Spread the culture, dog. Yo, boss! Culture time!
This is how we write root. Capiche?
But we're still about giving back to the people. Yo, boss! PR.
And this is how we write people, alright?
Not that Walkie's paying any attention. Kids.
Yeah, people need to know this exists. Do not let this series be forgotten. It's the only series online. It's completed. I mean...
It's ahoy! Chinese cactus on the Kingdom Fly idea like 3,000 years ago, believe that! Man, you wanna make it today, you gotta keep it real, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that's why I made the OG cracker, for real! I know it don't look like no cracker, gee, what you want me to call it, the OG muffin? Oh...
I don't even know if there's any completed, fully dubbed Phoenix Wright series online right now. I know Nintendo LP did did one of Phoenix Wright 2, but I don't know. That's sort of what I was doing.
All this talk about food is coming from. You ask me, there's only one food, and that's noodles. Noodles forever! I got a new one, too. See, this time, I put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. Why pretend? Eldun's Noodles is about the salt. Salt forever!
Speaking of Nintendo LP, I gotta thank him because of his inspiration. I had started this series, it was part of it, and I'm glad that he participated in it for the first half.
My exceptionally inquisitive nature has won me unequivocal adoration in my department. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stinkler and Wesley Sticky Hands. But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicko, reporting. Yes, curiosity is a sickness and I am the cure. Did someone say panties?
So I'd have to thank him for participating, and I have to apologize for not including him in Case 4. But I mean, when you don't have contact with somebody, it's like, what do you do, right? So thank you to Nintendo LP for all that. Man, I'm gonna do an awards video after this episode, personally thanking all the voice actors that participated in this project. I couldn't have done it without any of you guys, and I couldn't have done it without the fans.
I don't know how to thank you for all you've done. Light has returned to my life, and with it joy. I may have lost years, but I have gained a treasure. 2 treasures, in fact. I will think of them when I write my next song.
I mean, I do these Best Voice Actor awards per case to thank the voice actors themselves, but this awards video is going to be all personal, all for me, who I think deserves certain awards.
Brushel here, back on the beat with another interview. How do I feel about how things turned out? No scoop yet, but journalists' confidence in mint condition. End quote!
So my personal awards are going to be different, and that's the video where I'm going to announce, in this video, first of all, vote for your best voice actor of Case 4.
I've decided to keep painting. Originals only, of course. I suppose I'll have to see a bit of the world outside to find what to paint. But I know there are good people out there now. I've met them. The door is open. The world is waiting. Thank you.
So vote for your best voice actor of Case 4 in the description, and once that's up, I will be announcing that and the best voice actor of the series awards in my awards video that's coming up. Once again, thank you all so much for sticking through this series and appreciating the good work that went into this and the great voice acting. That's Tyranny. That's me for now. Signing off on a completed Let's Dub. Rate, comment, subscribe, favorite, and see you guys on my next Let's Dub series.